My name is John Smith. I met my wife Kay, who's 4 years older than me, at a sports gym. I work as an instructor. Kay came for a trial lesson. During these lessons, we first measure the client's body stats, then show them around the gym, and teach them how to use the machines. The instructor for trial lessons changes weekly. Appointments can be made online. Kay had booked for 10 a.m. I could tell she was the one as soon as I saw her wandering around. I'm Kay, here for the trial lesson. Hi, I'm John. Thank you for booking a trial lesson. That was our first conversation. Honestly, I was surprised at how slim Kay was when I first saw her. I wondered why she even came to the gym. Later, she told me she wanted to build some muscle. After the trial lesson, she decided to join the gym. Over time, as she came more often, Kay discreetly gave me her contact information. It was the first time a woman had approached me, so I thought it was a prank. But we started talking, went on dates, and eventually got married. Kay wanted a big wedding, so we had it in Hawaii. Our gym friends even flew out to join us. I met Kay's best friend, Emily, and her old college friend, Mike, for the first time there. Our marriage was fulfilling. When I was single, I used to eat store-bought meals alone. But after marriage, I'd come home to a lit house, a delicious meal, and a warm bath waiting for me. And of course, Kay would greet me with a smile. However, our happiness was short-lived. One big reason was our inability to have children, something we both desired. We both liked children. We thought it would happen quickly. But even after 2-3 years, there was no sign. By the 4th year, we decided to get tested. Finding a cause might have brought some closure. But unfortunately, there was nothing wrong with either of us. It was just a matter of timing. We were both healthy, but we couldn't conceive. It made us think maybe it was about compatibility or fate. My feelings must have shown because I accidentally made Kay cry one night. A news program was featuring children. They're so adorable. I blurted out innocently. Realizing my mistake, I quickly changed the channel. Why are you changing it? I thought it might bother you. It's you who's bothered. Wait, calm down. I am calm. You're the one treating me like I'm fragile, she said, breaking into tears. Kay. After that, we stopped talking about children altogether when children are shown on TV. We no longer brought up the topic. The tension was suffocating. So I took up fishing, a hobby suggested by my gym buddies. Unfortunately, the friend who recommended it had a completely different schedule. So I couldn't learn from him, and that's when Kay introduced me to Mike. According to Kay, he is an expert fisherman who even owns a boat. Being my wife's best friend, I was pretty nervous at first. Hello, nice to meet you. Well, not for the first time, but it's the first time we're actually having a conversation. I'm really happy to have another fishing buddy. Mike was incredibly kind and did a great job easing my nerves. His fishing skills were as impressive as Kay had said. He was very easygoing and enjoyable to be with. Spending my days off fishing became an escape from the cooling relationship with Kay. Since I was spending every weekend fishing, I started to worry about Kay, so I suggested a weekend trip for the three of us. Mike booked a stay at a lodge in Asheville. I'm sorry for intruding on your couple's trip. Don't be silly. You're not intruding. Thanks for booking that famous lodge. Well, you said Kay wanted to go there. You remembered. I hadn't paid much attention at the time, but thinking back, there might have been something more to their conversation. Let's drop off our bags at the lodge and go night fishing. Night fishing? That sounds great. I've never done it before. I knew Mr. Smith was curious about it. Thank you. Even after all these weeks, aren't the two of you still calling each other Mr.? Mike and I looked at each other. She might be right. Maybe it's time we drop the formalities today. Sounds good. If anyone uses Mr., they owe me $10. $10 is too much. I meant it's a deal. $10 it is. I was surprised to see a side of Kay I never saw at home. Lively and youthful in her conversation. Night fishing was a blast. The fish's eyes gleamed blue in the water, creating a magical scene. The technique was different from daytime fishing, moving the rod up and down along the pier wall. Even Kay, a beginner, could do it easily and caught the most fish, thanks to beginner's luck. We had a late dinner in our room. We enjoyed a feast of seafood. It was a delightful meal for both our eyes and stomach. After eating, we took a bath. Mike, feeling tired, opted for the shower in our room. Did he feel awkward intruding on our couple's time? Since we were all close, we decided to sleep in the same room. setting up our beds side by side. Feels like we're back in college. It sure does. I went to an all-boys school. That must have been boring. Hey, don't insult my youth. It was fun in its own way. I kinda envy the all-boys experience. It was just smelly and miserable. We all laughed. I wish these fun times could last forever. It felt like a friendship between men and women that I had never experienced in my youth. All thanks to Mike. I'm not great with alcohol, so I fell asleep at some point. I woke up around 4 a.m. It was still dark outside. I have a terrible hangover headache, probably from the leftover alcohol. It was fun, but I probably got carried away. Then in the darkness I heard voices. I thought of asking Kay to bring me some water if she was awake. It's hard to break up, but if it's for happiness, it's worth it. Break up. Squinting in the darkness, I could faintly make out a shocking scene. My face turned pale. Kay and Mike were holding hands and gazing into each other's eyes. Sus, Mike. Don't worry about anything. Thanks, Kay. I trust you. I love you. Hearing their conversation, I hesitantly turned on the light. As the room brightened, they were indeed holding hands. But they quickly let go, surprised by my awakening. What's going on? I blurted out. You were up? What is this, holding hands? I heard you two talking. What is it about breaking up, about loving each other? June, you're misunderstanding. Mike, stay out of this. I'm talking to Kay. You're misunderstanding. This isn't what it looks like. Are you kidding me? This is a joke. Just calm down. How can I calm down? Let me explain. Mike, just stay quiet. But, exactly, that's the problem. Ever since we met as a trio, I felt something more than friendship in your conversations. Were you two together all along? We're just friends, nothing more. Who would believe that after seeing this? I feel betrayed, Mike. I thought we had become friends, but was it just because you had a thing with Kay? That's not true. There's really nothing going on. So you're both denying it. Have you been enjoying fooling me? Coming on this trip must have been convenient. Enough already. We're telling you there's nothing between us. Ha! Now you're getting defensive. Is this why we couldn't have kids? Because you were with him. What are you talking about? Were you making sure we couldn't conceive because you were with him? That's horrible. Horrible? That's my line. Get out. Leave me right now. Fine. Let's go, Mike. Kay said. But, just go, both of you. They left the room. I had never been so angry. My feelings of betrayal exploded uncontrollably. I couldn't stop it. Kay and Mike having an affair. Why hadn't I suspected it from the beginning? Mike is of the opposite sex. Does a best friend of the opposite sex exist? But strangely, I had trusted Mike. That's why it hurt even more. I had always wanted children. Alone in the room, I cried. How stupid of me. After about an hour alone, I decided to leave the lodge in Asheville. It was chilly in the early morning. The cold wind seemed to pierce my heart. Mike had already paid for the lodge. I'll get every penny of alimony. I took the train back home. As I started to calm down and plan to talk things over with Kay, I found she had left with all her belongings. Reluctantly, I called Mike. It's me. John, I'm really sorry about earlier. I didn't mean to cause a misunderstanding. I'll talk to you later about this, Mike. Right now I can't find Kay. Do you know where she is? No, I haven't seen her since then. Okay, thanks. Wait, what? Maybe she's at Emily's. Emily? Yes, I'll try there. I didn't want to talk more with Mike, so I hung up abruptly. I called Emily. Sure enough, Kay was at her place. I went over to talk to Kay. She continued to deny everything. Emily excused herself because it was a marital problem. She left us to talk alone. I lost my temper earlier. I'm sorry for overreacting. But you're the one who betrayed me. I want the truth. How long have you and Mike been involved? No matter how many times you ask, Mike and I are just friends. Hey, there's a limit to lying. Tell me the truth. There's nothing between me and Mike, really. Then her phone rang. It was Mike. Answer it. Not now. If there's nothing to hide, talk in front of me. Fine. She snapped, answering the call. Hello? Yes, I'm okay. I'll explain everything. Please don't do that. Remember what happened last time? Don't worry about me. I'll call you back later. Her concern for Mike infuriated me again. What did Mike say? I'm sorry. You were right. So you admit it? Yes. Since when? A long time ago. This is absurd. I'm sorry. I always wanted kids, 2 kids. But I never said anything to avoid hurting you. I told her. That hurt me even more. She replied. So, an affair was your answer. This betrayal is how it ends. Kay said nothing. I felt a sense of resignation towards my wife. Let's get a divorce. I'll pay back the money by working. Mike could ask his parents to cover with no problem. But I want nothing to do with you or him ever again. I won't ask for alimony. I declared, leaving the room. The next day, we went to the courthouse to file for divorce. It's been 3 years since the divorce. I haven't seen Kay since. I'm still working at the gym. I haven't gone fishing since then either. I want to, but it brings back painful memories. I guess fishing isn't the problem. Maybe it's time to start again. I thought to myself. That's when I saw a familiar face at the gym. It was Mike. John, you have a visitor. It's been a while. What brings you here now? Sorry for showing up unannounced. If you have time, maybe we could have a cup of coffee nearby. Sure. We went to a nearby diner. I'll have the chicken sandwich plate. Same for me. Right away. I really needed to talk to you today about something. What is it? I wanted to apologize for that day. I had no idea you two had divorced. You must have known. No, I really didn't. You still doubt me. I've been overseas for training to take over my family's business. The hotel management? Yes. Where to start? That day, I was consulting Kay about a marriage proposal I received. My parents wanted me to marry a daughter of a financier. But I didn't want to get married. Because of your relationship with Kay? No, hear me out. It's not that I didn't want to get married. I couldn't marry a woman. I might look like a man, but I've always felt like a woman inside. So you're... Yes, exactly. I felt this way since I can remember. I've been struggling with the conflict between my body and my feelings. My parents noticed I was different. But my father is very traditional and still hasn't accepted it. My mother just follows what he says. No one, not even my parents, understood me. Kay was the only one who did. That day, I was torn between agreeing to the arranged marriage or refusing it and going abroad. If I refused, I might be disowned by my parents. Going abroad meant I would have no one on my side. It was a lonely thought being away from Kay. That's why you said it would be lonely to part ways. I've always hidden my gender dysphoria for the sake of my family. I've been suppressing my true feelings, wearing clothes I didn't want to wear, speaking words I didn't want to say. I hid it all through school life, but I couldn't bear it when it came to romantic feelings. I wrote a letter to a boy I liked and put it in his locker. He replied, calling me to the back of the school. I was excited, but when I got there, several boys were waiting. They laughed and dressed me to prove I was different and took pictures. Even the boy I liked joined in, calling me disgusting. That's terrible. Nobody understood me. When I finally mustered the courage, this was the result. Somehow I ended up on the rooftop thinking of ending my life. But then Kay stopped me. She and I had known each other since kindergarten, but we never really talked much. I was shy and quiet. She was beautiful, smart, everyone's idol. She took my hand, led me to the classroom, and read the letter out loud in front of the boy I liked, who had a crush on her. The boy's cheeks turned bright red and shouted at her to stop reading. She finished, tore up the letter. Doesn't matter what you look like. He is 1,000,000 times better than someone with a rotten core. I like Mike so much more than you. Then she took my hand and we walked away. She sounds like a hero. To me, she was. We started talking every day after that. Kay sort of knew about my gender dysphoria all along. Thanks to her, the bullies stopped bothering me, and school became